Good afternoon, Musketeers. It's September 28th, 2018. I'm Aiden Callahan.
And I'm Christo Fossi. This is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
The general debate kicked off on Tuesday at the United Nations General Assembly. The Assembly is the main policymaker for the UN and sees representatives from all 193 members convening in New York to vote on issues and policies. The general debate usually receives the most media attention as it sees world leaders delivering speeches about topics important to their own countries. The debate is overseen by the UN General Assembly President, Maria Fernanda Espinosa, the first woman of Latin American descent to preside over it. Here are some key points from the debates. On Tuesday, Secretary General Antonio Guterres precluded world leaders' speeches by saying that the world is suffering from a trust deficit disorder and that we are not doing enough about global warming. Trump called America's trade deficit with China unacceptable and called for Iran to isolate itself, while Iran's Rouhani took the stage to describe American sanctions as economic terrorism. This did not cause Trump to back down on Wednesday. He warned world leaders not to let Iran procure nuclear weapons, among other foreign callouts, such as accusing China of meddling in our elections. Other countries attacked the U.S. for bullying Iran, leading Rouhani to declare Thursday morning that America will further isolate itself after this meeting of the General Assembly.
Yesterday, the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee heard from Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, who accused the federal judge of sexual misconduct while they were in high school. In the hearing, Ford said she was 100% certain that Judge Kavanaugh attacked her and that this was absolutely not a case of mistaken identity. Dr. Ford even said the incident included laughter from Kavanaugh and his friend who she says allegedly witnessed the attack. Judge Kavanaugh denied the allegations, saying, quote, "I was not at the party described by Dr. Ford. This process has become a national disgrace," end quote. Ford is one of 3 women who have publicly accused the judge of sexual misconduct. The full Senate could act as early as next week regarding Kavanaugh's nomination.
Ben & Jerry, founder of the Ben & Jerry's ice cream company, announced a new line of ice cream flavors based on Democratic midterm candidates. This includes Hamilton County's own Clerk of Courts Aftab Pureval, who's making his bid this November for state senate. In a joint statement on their website, Ben & Jerry stated, quote, "We need a Democratic majority to check President Trump's unrestrained power, and we also need to send progressive champions to Congress who will fix our healthcare system with Medicare for all, protect clean air and water, and get big money out of politics," end quote. It seems Ben & Jerry think that politics and business go together like cookies and cream. This new line of ice cream will be raffled off in order to support the candidates. Pureval's competitor, Steve Shabbat, shot back at the publicity stunt, tweeting, quote, "As a lifelong Cincinnatian, I'll stick to Grater's and UDF ice cream every time," end quote.
A group of Xavier students are helping to improve children's education.
Hannah Brewer has more on the story.
Montessori education is a child-centered approach to learning. The whole method in general is focused around the whole child. I think a lot of times in public education, you're really just focused on the main courses, the main subjects. We're focused on their mental, their physical, and their emotional needs. Montessori education benefits the children by helping them to become autonomous in their own being. The children do everything for themselves for the most part in the classroom. They're cleaning that up after themselves, scrubbing the floors, scrubbing the tables, building their concentration and their coordination.
Montessori is a lot about community, so our purpose of our club is to build a community of educators, not only current students but also alumni. In our club, we have many different events such as brunches and material making events and community building events. Our material making really prepares teachers to get to know how to make materials, and we help them along the process.
I went to Montessori school from the time I was 3 years old until I was 9 years old. So it's ingrained in me, and I feel like it's the best way to learn.
Palomino, the popular European-inspired restaurant located on Vine Street overlooking Fountain Square, will be serving its last meals on October 21st. According to manager Christopher Gould, the restaurant is closing due to leasing issues. Palomino opened at Fountain Place in 1998, one of 5 locations across the country. Palomino was a part of the decreasing number of tenants in Fountain Place. Macy's closed its location at Fountain Place on March 26th, and Tiffany's & Company recently announced their departure from Fountain Place to the Kenwood Town Center. Following the departure of Palomino's and Tiffany's, the booksellers on Fountain Square will be the only remaining tenant at Fountain Place.
Yesterday outside of Fenwick, Xavier Connects hosted a farmers market to raise awareness for the program and what they do around campus. I stopped by the fair and had the opportunity to talk with Jennifer Peyote, the director of marketing for the program, about what Connects is and what they do for our campus. Connects literally connects our campus. They're in charge of managing over 10 different departments that affect our daily lives, from dining dollars to Xcash to other food services. Connect specifically chooses programs that connect with the Xavier Jesuit identity. Rather than employing huge chains like other campuses, Connect chooses to work with local companies, such as Carabello Coffee. I had the opportunity to meet Justin Carabello himself at the fair, and he has a passion for coffee, locally sourcing and creating his own brand. If you're interested in getting involved with Connects, they'll be hosting a seminar hosted by Carabello himself titled Let's Talk Coffee at 3:40 on October 11th at Victory Park.
Curious what happened to Xavier's urban farm?
Here's Nick Lancianci with more on the story.
I'm Jonathan Duffy. I'm a junior, econ and sustainability double major, and I'm the CEO for the Urban Farm.
Hi, my name is Casey Smith. I'm a junior here on campus. My major is finance and sustainability. I first got involved with the farm as the farm manager, and I'm currently a Downing Scholar, so I oversee the farm phase in St. Francis Xavier. The Urban Farm supplies fresh, healthy produce to restaurants, bars, households, and community members around the Xavier area. So we sell on Sunday mornings to parishioners at Bellhaven Chapel. We sell beets and carrots to Wisherman Brewing Company for a special beer they do with us. And we also sell at farmers markets around Cincinnati.
Yeah, so the hub, the Health United building with Tri-Health is the new health building. It's going to replace McGrath. There will also be a gym in there, classrooms, study space. I think they even talked about a coffee shop. So it's definitely a building that's needed on campus with the growing population of students. I would say less than a year ago we found out. When they started really planning for the farm, or for the hub, they kind of told us that that's the location and didn't really give us options as to where we could move. So that was kind of up to us to figure out a new place for the farm. We looked for the most, best green space, most sunlight. The location that we chose is also close to the composting bins, so we can kind of feed off that as well. And it's just the best land in general. So right now we're working with Faves to kind of see if we can put together menu specials for them. So maybe once a month, if we're growing something and we know we'll have a lot of it, they could use that main ingredient and maybe a salad or something like that. We talked about kale and maybe using a kale salad at some point, maybe in April. And we would kind of give them all that kale so they wouldn't have to worry about even buying, they could still buy local, but they could buy even more local just using the Xavier farm.
When we looked to relocate the farm and make our plans for the 2018 growing season, we really focused on recycling and how we could make the most of the resources we did have. So that meant taking down the fence entirely, hauling it over to the Center for Innovation, and then slicing and dicing until we had 26 raised beds. Great ways for students to get involved with the urban farm, either through volunteering directly with the farm work, doing that sort of thing, or on a higher level, joining the executive team, working on marketing promotion, branding for the urban farm, as well as running day-to-day operations. So the best way to do that is to visit our website, xavier.edu/Settler Center, and then sublinks for Xavier Urban Farm. We've got a nice contact page there.
Looking for a fun way to spend your Friday night? Head over to the Wild West-themed Muskies After Dark event in the Gallagher Student Center, sponsored by the Student Activities Council. Prizes like a Polaroid camera and succulents will be available to win, and a variety of foods like barbecue, mac and cheese, s'mores, and caramel apples will be served. Students will even have an opportunity to take on a mechanical bull. The event is free for students. Just bring your alt card to the check-in desk to get a wristband. The event runs from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m.
All right, that's all from the news desk, people.
We'll be right back with Lucas Robbins and the Xavier Sports Report.
Hello Xavier University, it's good to be back here at the Xavier Sports Desk. I'm Lucas Robbins and we start today with the women's volleyball team. Last week the Musketeers started their Big East play 1-1 with a loss to St. John's and a win against Seton Hall. These next 2 days the Musketeers will host back-to-back games. Tonight at 7 p.m. the season continues with a clash with the Providence Friars, and tomorrow at 5 p.m. the Musketeers will look to get their first win ever against the Creighton Blue Jays. For the Robbins record watch, freshman Jada Carlton tied the school record for single match blocks against the St. John's and will look to build off that amazing performance. And senior Meredith Clare is 69 digs away from moving into second place all-time in Xavier history. Best luck chasing those records and winning the doubleheader, girls. Over the weekend, the women's tennis team will be competing in the Purdue Invitational. Hosted in West Lafayette, Indiana, Xavier will battle against teams from Purdue, Western Kentucky, Miami of Ohio, Ball State, Wright State, Northern Illinois, and Lipscomb. Xavier might match up with some familiar opponents in the tournament as they competed in the Greater Cincinnati Invitational earlier this month against Western Kentucky and Lipscomb. In the earlier tournament, Xavier won 11 matches, while Western Kentucky netted 8 wins and Lipscomb 16. Safe travels and best wishes to the women's tennis team. And finally, Musketeers fans, do you want a sneak peek at what the Xavier men's basketball team will look like this season? If so, head down to the Cintas Center tomorrow morning at 10:45 a.m. as the team will be holding an open practice for fans. Feel free to grab a snack with the open concession stands, take a photo with Xavier's 2018 Big East Conference Regular Season Championship Trophy, the first of hopefully many in our school's history, and of course, watch the team practice. catch glimpses of Quentin Gooden's improved three-point shooting, Tyreek Jones cleaning up the paint down low in the post, and Najee Marshall's well-rounded game improving after the Big East Freshman All-Star team honored him last year. And we get to see what the grad transfers Kyle Castlin, Ryan Wheelage, and Zach Hankins offer in their skill sets for the X. Sounds like a great time to me. What better way to spend your weekend? I hope to see the Cintas Center packed with Musketeer fans to welcome the team. Have a great weekend and fall break, everyone. And as always, let's go X.